On today's episode, we discuss
sexy mullets,
loud ambient noises,
and loud, overdramatic fiddle music. All that and much, much more on today's episode of Murder We Spoke. All right, guys, welcome back to the... No, oh, are we not? Should I? I thought we were ready to go. I guess I was wrong.
I thought you were doing... I saw you fiddling on the computer. I didn't know.
I just moved it to the next track after the opening so we could get started on the episode.
I just wanted to talk about how you guys should bring something to the work potluck. But we should definitely discuss it on the air.
I will.
I mean,
okay.
Yeah, I will too, so...
Okay.
Good talk.
Discussion, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Problem solved.
We can discuss what later.
Listeners, you can write in if something you think we should bring into the work Christmas
and include
potluck.
recipes if necessary.
If you guys have a good recipe, honestly,
Oh my
I
God,
could
why
use
aren't
one.
you doing something from the Angel Lansbury cookbook? Or
Oh, do
the
the cakey cake cookies.
Those were really good. I already brought those in once, though. Like, maybe I've even brought them in twice.
No, you brought them in once,
Just
and
once.
everyone loved them.
They were delicious.
They're very good. Super easy, very good.
Yeah, well, there you go. Well, I found Ben's thing.
And the other one in there, the brie quesadillas.
Ooh.
The
Those
brie
are
and
good,
apple.
but that's like a lot to
I mean, I can't
prepare.
bring those in, but those were fucking
So
really
you
good.
can
were
make
good.
them and
The
have
Angela,
us over
yeah.
for the next
The
podcast.
Murder She Wrote cookbook is kind of on point so far. I've only made like 3 things.
Besides the peanut butter
Okay.
and jelly sandwich and everything with mayonnaise.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwich is a great recipe.
Okay.
They may not have invented it, but those meatballs were kind of shit. So,
Yeah,
okay,
I
so
feel
never
like
I
mind.
haven't tried that.
The first one was terrible. Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
And I still haven't tried the one literally that's oranges, like mandarin oranges. Pour olive oil on it, then put chopped garlic on it, mix it up, salad.
Then bring it to the work potluck. Make someone try it.
I think, like, I kind of want to.
No one will eat it though, and then you'll just be
Oranges.
stuck with like a weird orange garlic smell.
Ugh.
Have you guys heard about the fat-free or sugar-free Haribo gummy bears? That, like, make everyone, like, immediately have to, like, shit their brains out?
Oh my God, yes!
And-
I feel like there are the reviews on Amazon.
Yep,
Like,
I think I'm gonna bring that. Leave it in someone's
Yeah.
in the back.
Yep.
Okay.
Do it. Done and done.
Oh wow.
Okay, guys. All
Good
right. Well,
talk.
Poisoning the office.
I'm sure you like
Much
that little
like-
glimpse into it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nice little
Ooh. Nice little transition.
transition.
Shall we?
Because we're about to talk about season 9, episode 4, entitled "The Wind Around the Tower." I said that well.
You did, but that's a terrible
Can
title.
you do it in an
I like
Irish
that
accent?
tower.
I like that tower.
I like that title. I was looking at the word tower when I said that.
And
I like this title. The wind around the tower.
I
Oh,
wish
that's
it
good.
would have been like.
The window around the tower.
That was
Oh,
really
that was
good too.
good.
If you're a leprechaun on a cereal box, that's very
that's
good.
pretty.
That
Yeah.
was awesome.
This originally aired November 1st, 1992.
I was 6.
I was 1.
I was 9.
About to turn 2 though.
Tonight, when Marissa and I had to return and rebuy our bottles of wine approximately
Three
three
times.
times, we had to keep telling our birthdays. The woman had them memorized by the end of
Why?
it.
Oh,
Because it was like wine.
wine.
So I was like 929, 86, 929, and you were like 1129, 90, 1129. I was like,
She
oh
knew
my
it
God.
by the end.
She
Shout out
did.
to Kelly at Cost Plus.
Yeah, Kelly,
I mean, yeah,
World
Cost
Market, Cost Plus. Thanks for returning our wine
Yeah.
3 times.
Appreciate
So that
it.
my bottle was $7 and Marissa's was $4.
Even though they were the same bottle.
And it should have been
they
what,
were
15?
originally $15. Yeah.
That's what we call a deal.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
J.B. Fletcher.
That
Would
is
be proud.
the name of the main character.
Would
Good
be
job.
proud.
It's
Would be proud.
Okay.
I wanted to say J.B. Fletch, but then I felt like I needed her full name.
Yeah.
You're not quite
Understand
on
it.
the informal level with JB Fletch.
No, I was like,
I feel like I drop a
I say-
JB Fletch.
I say
quite
like
often.
JB, Jess.
well,
Jess
that's
is a good one.
this bingo game that we're playing.
JF.
Oh,
JF,
yeah.
which is confusing, but then it's also like JB Fletch.
I like
JF.
JB. It is.
It's like, what is her name?
I like JB better than JF.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Let's see. By the way, I'm Ben. That's
I'm-
Melissa. Sorry.
And I'm
I guess I
Marissa.
should.
Yeah, definitely point and just say.
Yeah.
That's Melissa. That's Marissa. Okay, you guys, you know who we are now.
We are two separate people, Melissa and Marissa, in case you thought we were the same. Like my
Ben
mom.
thinks we're the same. Yeah,
Like Ben
exactly.
or my mother.
Every time. Every time.
It's fine.
Everyone thinks, but it's okay.
And before we get started, I told you guys about this. There's a guy named Joel B. New who's writing theatrical pop songs
Oh.
based on the novels of one J.B. Fletcher. I hope that got picked up on mic.
It is burp, Joe.
Okay.
We played Drunk Bingo.
We did.
It was great, and none of us actually got bingo. You have to watch like 2 or 3 episodes. I feel.
we're gonna save these sheets and we're gonna keep going in the next
Okay.
episode. But Joel B. New is writing those. He's releasing his first EP entitled Cabot Cove, and so he wants you to go vote for the. He's gonna turn 5 of her novel titles into songs, and he's letting everybody vote on what they are. So
Do we know the genre of songs?
theatrical pop.
Oh.
What does that mean? Can you give me an example?
I do not know.
Okay.
I should have asked him because and I should be like yeah, what is an example of it? I just feel like theatrical pop sounds fun.
I mean, like, I saw the Green Day musical, so, like, is that theatrical pop?
Probably.
I would imagine,
Because it's all the Green Day songs, but in a Broadway musical.
but in a poppy Broadway way. I don't know.
I'm gonna look it up. I probably won't find it for like 5 minutes, but just to get a little definition.
Yeah, I didn't even
Niche.
Google it, but so far I voted for The Corpse Danced at Midnight like 3 times.
That would be such a good song.
I went in there and
How
checked
many
because you can
times are you able to vote?
as many as you want for as many
Okay.
as you want. So don't be shy.
As many as you want. Okay.
And you can go in once you vote. You can see like what's in the lead and how many times it's been voted for and everything. And The Corpse Danced at Midnight last time I checked, I think was number 1, and I feel like I'm going to take credit for that.
You should.
So,
Definitely.
but yeah, keep voting for it. I think that's. And there's like 44 over the course of the whole series. There's 44 book titles that get mentioned.
Whoa. 44.
And how
On
do
the
you
show?
vote for it?
You go to joelbnew.com and
Can you
just
spell it for us?
Yeah.
yes, JOEL like Billy Joel, Joel.
Okay.
The letter B as in boy, new NEW. joelbnew.com. It's a good name.
Yeah.
Solid name. And then if there's a tab like there's a tab that says news. If you click on that from the main website there, it'll take you right to
Voting.
the voting thing.
Cool.
Apparently, Lady Gaga is theatrical pop,
Okay.
Oh,
like
well
Just
then,
Dance and stuff. So
I can
okay,
see that. I'm into it.
totally
Okay.
do it.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Settled.
So the first one comes out in January, so plenty of time. Go vote early and often.
Perfect.
Let them know that the Murder We Spoke audience is behind this
Yeah.
idea, fully
Support
behind this
it.
idea.
For sure.
And then, as Melissa mentioned, this episode 2 of us did play the Murder She Drank bingo game
Mm-hmm.
from the good folks at I think it's just like murdershedrank.com, but you can go print out like it's a bingo game / drinking game and
.wordpress.com.
oh,
If
okay.
that makes a difference, I don't know.
Yeah.
You're on the bottom.
Oh, it is, yeah. Murdershedrank.wordpress.com.
And I think you need to watch like 2 or 3 before you actually get a bingo, but more time to drink, more time for JB.
I was
There's nothing wrong with that at all.
I was close. I only needed 2 more if JB had worn pearls or the word poppycock, fiddlesticks, or shenanigan was used. I would have won.
I
You
had
have
that
to.
one. I had that one too. I feel like I did the worst out of all these. Mine was the worst. I got 6.
7.
I got 8.
Oh.
Good job.
Win.
Let's see. Some of mine include story involves Ireland or Irish folklore,
I feel like that was no accident.
terrible accents.
Okay.
I picked these blindly. I don't appreciate the accusation.
Sorry about it.
JF pretends to be clueless to get information.
Got that one.
That's every episode. That's like almost
It really
unfair.
is, yeah.
That
That's
is
great.
literally the last 5 minutes of every episode.
That should have been in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shadowy figure
Yeah, I had that one.
and an affair is uncovered.
JF
Again, like
uses
every
her
episode.
glasses as a prop rather than actually wearing them. Avi. Always happens.
I think my favorite, and we all had something similar, was JF shakes head while saying, "I'm not so sure." Insert officer's name.
It really is
Are you
awesome.
sure? Yeah.
Yeah, I had one. A homicide detective asks JF for advice.
Yeah. So,
Oh,
Again,
yeah,
every-
that's
every episode.
every.
What do you mean, Miss Fletcher?
What do you think of this?
So you're saying that this is here, right?
You do the accent surprisingly well.
Good job.
Thank you. I try. So yeah, so we'll keep playing next time, but it's super fun. It helped.
is,
Like
yeah.
I mean, especially if you're drinking, I imagine it's.
It's a little more fun. Yeah.
I'm your
Yeah.
sober buddy this episode. So.
You spilled some wine on your fingers and you slurped that right up. So
You're
not
basically
100%.
Schweizy face.
Yeah.
Basically, okay. I would register on the old breathalyzer.
On the old breathalyzer.
Why did you just give Ben your makeup thing? You're like, I'm done.
Because I was like, we're not going to talk about it anymore.
Oh, okay.
I was just like, he needs to keep it safe for next time.
Okay, fair.
And you marked yours with hearts, which I appreciate.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I just circled mine. Yeah. So no.
I highlighted mine.
UCLA pen.
Yeah, a little housing pen.
Yeah.
So now people know where you work, your birthday.
I know, it's
already done.
birthday.
Yeah, it's already done.
I don't know which of us his birthdays is when.
Because that would
Nope.
be super useful information.
There's only a 50-50 shot that they get yours right. So
I'll take my odds.
Whatever.
Or chances, whatever.
let's see. We'll hit the guest stars right off the bat because I feel like I've recognized 3 people in this episode.
But also, you should say that Jessica's in Ireland. Just FYI, this episode, that's where she's at.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the reason we picked this episode, this one, I don't think it was recommended to us. If
Whoa.
it was, I didn't write it down.
Okay.
Maybe it was. Maybe that's how I knew about it.
Or we just were like, we want a drinking kind of one, right?
Yeah. Well, this one was. I think this was just the next one. I was like, any episode is good for this drinking game, frankly.
Yeah.
That's true.
But we watched an episode just a couple ago where George Hearn was a cop from Ireland, like took a lot of place in an Irish pub. It was right before Marissa went to Ireland.
Yeah, and it took place at UCLA.
Oh yeah.
And they were like, he was a teacher
That's
there,
cool.
and it was in humanities building.
Yeah, he was her friend from Ireland, and then this is one where she goes to Ireland with him, and it's the only 2 episodes this guy ever did. George Hearn, who was in the last one, and then he did Sweeney Todd. There was like a Sweeney Todd movie from the late 70s, early 80s, where
That we'll cover at some point.
yeah, I heard about the DVD, so we're definitely gonna watch it. But it's the cop, the Irish cop, and Angela Lansbury in Sweeney Todd, which happened.
I mean, she was on Broadway forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In Sweeney Todd. I like
And
the
who
Johnny
was-
Depp version
yeah.
too. Just so
Uh-huh.
good.
I don't think I've ever finished it. Was it
own it
Helena
if you wanna borrow it.
Bonham Carter? Okay.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah. And Sacha Baron Cohen is in it.
Oh.
I forgot about that. I saw it in theaters, and it came out like forever ago, right?
Yeah, I
Like
own it,
2004
so-
or 5?
Yeah, it was like
A decade ago.
I just watched the Harry Potter movies for the first time, and Helena Bonham Carter might be the best part of it.
Yeah,
Bellatrix
the
was
Bellatrix,
great.
yeah.
She's great.
She is.
Her and Alan Rickman, who progressively talked slower every movie, to the point where, like, the last 3 movies, it was just straight up comical every time he talked. Because, like, literally, like, me and Peter were watching the movie, and you're like, come with me. Mr. Like, such pregnant pauses, and it's like, is he serious?
Oh man.
I feel like it's a joke.
Well, it's weird because they all have like almost different directors, like different Dumbledores, like different.
true.
They're all over the place.
I think I
If you-
like second Dumbledore better.
Interesting.
I like the way he played. He played it a little more,
Lively.
I'm
little
more
more,
familiar
like,
with
younger.
that actor.
like demure, a little more. Yeah, definitely more familiar with the actor too.
Yeah.
See,
But I feel like a little more class, a little more dignity. Like the first Dumbledore was like, maybe it's just because it was such a kiddie movie. He was like just like a little more like goofy, big wizard
I
hat.
haven't
the
seen
first
it.
one?
And then
yeah,
that
but like
time.
he was
Or-
so like calm. Like
I feel like the other guy was like almost like too calm at times. Like he was never. The
Okay,
second
but
one
like
was
I'd
never
be
like super
interested to
lively.
see like if you read the books and then watch the
No, that's
movies,
not
like
gonna
how
happen, so.
right, but like how you would interpret it because like first Dumbledore seems more of what I imagine Dumbledore to be,
Little trickster.
and just like a little like slower talking. Because the second one's like, "Welcome to Hogwarts, everyone." You're like, no, and
I see.
like be a little more quiet, be like wise. You're old.
I thought he was. I thought he brought that across more than the first one. Actually, that's interesting.
Honestly, maybe I was drinking when I watched the second ones, but
Maybe you were sleeping because those first 2.
I
were-
did
Those
sleep.
first 2 are so
They are.
alright.
Those first 2 are rough.
The second book's the worst. So.
Yeah.
And it's the longest movie.
real boring.
All those movies are really long.
Yeah, I wish you read the books because I feel
Yeah.
like you like won't like it if you just watch the movies. If you had watched the movies when they first came out, you would like
Yeah?
not realize. Yeah,
Yeah.
not gonna happen though.
Okay.
That ship has sailed.
That ship has definitely sailed.
To Ireland, where J.B. Fletcher is.
Yeah.
Okay. The first guy, our murder victim, Dockin Matthews.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon he's Kevin James's dad on King of Queens, and you
Dockin.
guys recognize him from Gilmore Girls.
He's the headmaster of what's the school?
Chutney.
Her first one?
Chilton.
The Fine School of Chutney.
Whatever.
Oh yeah, no, he's great.
He's been in a million things. Like, he's a super recognizable face, I feel like.
I was convinced that he was in the Corpse Flies First Class.
Which we covered. So.
One of the 3 episodes I've seen.
Yeah.
But I was wrong.
The show repeats actors, but not that much.
Not that one.
And the woman from the chemist's place.
Pat Crawford Brown. Yes. In IMDb, she's credited as a waitress.
Okay.
In this episode?
Yep.
That's
They
stupid.
credit her as a waitress, so that's weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was one of the Nuns and Sister Acts. And a million other things like
Yeah.
that.
I don't know.
I went through
knew
like
her, yeah.
Yeah.
that was what I recognized her from, so that's why I put her. Like, if you go through her IMDb again, she's been in a million
Everything.
things. Yeah, she played a waitress / chemist worker or whatever. Like, she's one of those character actors that's been in a million.
Isn't she in some kind of like horror movie or like is she Men in Black or like something? She like turns into like an alien or like a demon.
She kind of
I
looks
feel
like
like
a
she-
little.
did you ever-
She like crawls on the ceiling or something.
Did you ever see Hellboy 2?
Not likely.
Because there's a scene in that where there's a little old lady and you put on these certain goggles and you can see that she's a troll, and that little old lady looks a lot like her. So maybe
What's her name?
Pat Crawford Brown.
You're gonna find it. I'm gonna be right about this one.
Yeah.
I hope.
While you're looking her up, the other one I recognized was Richard Reilly,
No.
who played the sergeant. He was the guy from Office Space who created that dumb game at the end that like broke his neck. Do you remember that?
He's been
Spoiler
in other
alert.
Stuff too,
He's been
though.
in a million things too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's, I feel like,
No,
his
I
most
recognize him,
recognizable
too.
thing. Even on IMDb, I think like Office Space was his number one. This is how you know him. But yeah, he's one of those guys that's been on everything.
Yeah, Sister Act. Ben probably recognizes it from Norbit.
Why?
I don't know.
Throwing some Norbit shade at me? I don't know why.
It's just the first one that came up. Sorry, guys, we're just checking IMDb.
Just going through. You guys should get out
Okay.
your phone and go through IMDb too.
Always Sunny. Do you recognize her from that?
What did she play? Did you give me a character name? Because I've seen
She's
every episode.
Woman Historical Society from 2008.
Oh, okay, yeah. Actually, I do know. I've seen every episode.
Desperate Housewives. Who is she in Desperate?
Oh, the neighbor. She was the neighbor. Remember, Felicity, what's her name's neighbor, right?
No. That's a separate woman. I think she died.
Oh, she's the woman from West Wing, which the neighbor was also on West Wing.
Yeah, she also died.
But I remember her. She was.
Okay.
Was she someone's sister?
In what?
Maybe she was that neighbor's sister on Desperate
She was-
Housewives. Because she had a recurring role. It
Gilmore
wasn't just
Girls.
like a one-off.
Who is she in Gilmore Girls?
Isn't she the waitress?
She's the waitress and everything.
Ida
apparently.
Greenberg. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. Okay, Pat Crawford Brown, Real Housewife. Just Freudian slip.
So, who wants to do the 20-second...
Melissa, because she's done less.
What? What am I
'Cause
doing?
you've done-
She
fewer?
is her sister.
Okay.
Everyone, IMDb, Pat Crawford Brown, Desperate Housewives.
Look
the
her up
first
in Gilmore
picture-
Girls.
Okay, that's a good one. She's holding a cat.
What's her
and
name?
Basically, Pat Crawford Brown.
And she looks the same age on this show as she does in Desperate Housewives, as she does in Sister Act, as she
Same
does
with
everywhere.
Angela Lansbury.
Yeah, she's one of those people, no matter when or what you see her in, she looks the exact same.
I hope that's how I am when I'm old enough. Just like I just
Ugh,
get
her
to a
main
certain
picture
point.
though is terrifying.
It's just a smiling little old lady. There's nothing
she's-
terrifying about her
I
photo.
don't see anything in.
It must have just been such a small...
Oh, she was also in Romy Michelle's high school. That's her name.
Aw.
I just rewatched
Such a
Gilmore
good
Girls, so
movie.
I feel like
Yeah, I stopped at one point.
It must be so small then if she had...
no, she was on 4 episodes. It says.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah. Is
I
this
guess
her?
they gave her a first name and a last name.
Yeah.
Is she melting in that picture? What's going on?
She's just old, Ben. That's her
looks-
face.
That's... Okay, maybe she
was
is
in
aging.
Suits on the
Yeah, I don't
Loose.
know.
Ooh, boy.
Okay, well, anyway, she was cute.
She was cute, yeah.
Yeah.
So those are the people I thought...
She worked in the pharmacy, aka the chemist lab.
The chemist. Our
Yeah.
favorite...
Oh, in Daredevil, she's the one that gets the peanut in the throat from Colin Farrell, you know?
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, I love that movie,
Jesus.
guys. I love it. She was in an episode of Lizzie McGuire. Oh, you know what I think she was? She is an old lady in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but I'm pretty sure she plays like an old lady who has a demon coming out of her or something.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that has to be what it is.
That would fit.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
that makes sense.
Okay.
But these are in the later seasons, because in the earlier seasons, it's like all these stars from like movies of the 50s and 60s, and here it's just like a bunch of character actors, you know. Because even the tall guy, that was, remember, okay.
The one who's like Vladimir Putin, kind of?
Yeah, he's like, the guy who's literally like, Melissa pointed out that I didn't even notice, is like at the murder scene, and then we smash cut to the next morning, he's like, sorry, I wasn't at the murder scene, I was
like,
out of
just
town.
got back into town and heard about
Norman,
whatever his name is.
Keel, yeah, whatever.
Or Norman.
Oh, guys, also, nothing happened with him or the young woman at the thing.
Yeah, why was she turned around?
That's true, there was no payoff to that at all.
That was like more
a red
than a
herring,
red herring,
I guess.
but like,
was that, were we just meant to believe, like, because at first we all thought that the redheaded, bushy-haired woman,
with
the
freckly
helper,
chest.
who's
The helper.
whose job title was helper,
AKA prostitute.
Totally. We thought that she was banging the husband, and then Vladimir Putin was banging the wife.
Yeah.
And it turns out, no, they were the two young people, Vladimir Putin and the redhead, were just banging each other.
But remember there was that scene where the redhead, like, was around the corner listening, like, clutching her chest? Like, what was the point of that?
And then the wife, like, when the two younger people were, like, kissing in the car, the wife was standing in the thing, like, just staring at him, so...
I feel like it seems like this episode was supposed to go a different way, because that doesn't even make sense why they would have done that if it had nothing to do with it.
That's thing. It's fine to be a red herring, but you have to like then pay it off at the end. Like, oh, but they
it was
were
actually
doing this.
like
here's
she
what
had
was
chest
actually.
pain. Yeah.
Yeah, like she was. Yeah, there was no payoff whatsoever to that. That was.
Even showing them, do you say this kissing in the convertible? Like
that's
yeah, it's just weird.
And she was staring out the window like the fucking mom in Psycho.
Like just silently, like that was a creepy shot.
That was the wife.
Yeah, watching them kiss in the convertible.
No, but I'm saying like in the movie Psycho, isn't there someone watching out the window?
Yeah.
Norman Bates. Isn't that him dressed like his mom?
Mm-hmm.
You just see the outline,
It looks, that's what it seemed like.
That was like, I thought that was like kind of a creepy shot. I thought it worked because it started out like way far back and it was almost like a horror movie. Like,
I thought Jessica was going to be watching, but then it was her and it.
That's what I thought
too.
Yeah.
White sweater set.
Yeah. So they didn't explain why she was so staring so intently at them.
Or why the redhead cared so much and was like eavesdropping on conversation.
She was just like a good employee who cared. Because
no one super cared. Good helper.
No one cared this guy was dead.
And like, but even that the Vladimir Putin guy like was gonna take over the banking industry.
Exactly, nothing came from that.
Yeah.
That's true. Well, he was set up as a red herring because he was just wanted to take over the company. He wanted to do more, and so when the guy died, he was just taking advantage of that. And I feel like that's.
But I thought that the guy that died even said something before he died about like how he wasn't into it.
Well, that guy was stealing money. Vladimir Putin was stealing money.
But like nothing came of that either.
No. Well, the wife was just like, well, I'm not going to let him take over the business because the wife. Spoiler alert. I mean, if you're listening to this, of course there's spoilers. But the wife killed him, so she was like, obviously he's not taking over the company because that's my money, and I want my money.
I want my money. Yeah.
Bitch better have my money.
I get, I don't know, it just seemed like a lot more loose ends than usual.
Yeah. I feel like that one's not that bad because they just had to set up
But even the fact
suspects.
of those two not being there kind of at the end for the resolution seemed kind of weird to me.
That was a little weird. Yeah.
Anyways.
Because, to totally remove them, to make them, like, prime suspects.
Yeah.
Because the convertible kiss and everything, like, prime suspects, number one.
Yeah.
And then we never see them again.
Yeah.
Like, the second they're set up as, okay, they did it, they're gone.
Yeah.
But this episode, so they set him up, and then they did another thing with that guy who wanted his land back. The guy they met in the bar. And so they set him up like, like J.B. Fletcher's just sitting in a pub just having some milk with this other old dude telling stories to one another. Like you do. Like it was super cute and awesome and I wanted to be at that table. And then this guy comes in, he's like, are you staying at the Gillen place? That little thief. And like goes like, okay, bro. Like I don't know you.
He flat out says, I hope he dies.
He's like, yeah, he's a thief and the crying woman, whatever comes to him. Oh, because, there's a ghost in this episode too.
Wait, but did you guys talk about the guy who put his property line there with
You've
the
been here the
axe?
whole time. Don't you
I
remember?
That's what we were just talking about.
I definitely didn't pee because of all the wine we had.
No, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, because we talked about how the couple,
Okay.
like, basically we're going over the red herrings, because they have to set, once Big Money Man dies, they had to set up, like, okay, Vladimir Putin wanted to take over the business and was stealing money from him.
Neighbor
wanted
property was going to get it sold to him.
Yeah, like, he hit hard, like, the neighbor hit hard times, if I'm right.
Yeah.
And had to sell the land,
bank
and
floor,
Gillen
yeah.
bought it cheap.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I thought you were talking about. That's why I came around the corner. I was like, yeah, but then I heard you talking about the bar, and I got super confused.
Well, we were saying how
Might be.
that guy...
He just injected
said
himself
in
into the
bar,
conversation.
Okay.
I hope he dies, or whatever. And then he was, like, hammering a sign in with an axe.
The thing, like, 8 hours later, you would think, like, even he would be like, it'll look super suspicious, so I'm just gonna, like, I'm gonna give it, like, 48 hours. Just, like, a 48-hour waiting period.
Before I
Maybe the
nail
body
the
will be in the
sign
ground.
in.
We'll let the body get in the ground, and then I'll go ahead and lay claim to the land. As if it's, like, 1750, and you just have to walk over and pound a
Right?
flag
Like,
in the ground, and, like, this is
no.
my land now. I have discovered this country. That's
This
not
is
how property works in the 90s.
guys. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. And the axe was really, like, ominous. I'm like, okay. On my bingo was, like, a household item, and an axe could be a household item, so I was gonna...
Depends on what house you live
Like,
in.
if you have an axe, you have a hammer.
Yeah.
to hammer the sign in. Like, there's no need
That's
for you to
true,
using
like,
But then when he threatened George Hearn, when he's like, he says like, well, that's the last time I'm going to talk to you about it, and like slings it over his shoulder.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, that dude would totally take your head
But
off with
did
that
you
axe. I
realize he
wouldn't.
had, like, really big teeth and a really thin lip, but it kept covering all his teeth?
I
Nah.
didn't notice that,
That was a
but
great
it's
face. That
real
was a great
scary.
Well, check it out, guys.
Did he have
And that's-
in my mind when I'm picturing him? At some points I see him clean shaven. At some points I see a big full beard. Which one is true?
Well, this proves that eyewitness testimonies are completely inaccurate.
'Cause
Like,
I-
sometimes they vision him with a beard, and other times...
Sometimes he's
clean
naked in my
shaven.
dreams.
Yeah.
Or sometimes he's
That's the thing. If the cop's like, yeah, describe the guy that was pounding in the sign, I'd be like,
Pounding what now?
You missed. Ben has been, like, on, like, everything he said today is, like, borderline inappropriate. Like, he got his high desk
That's
today,
true. I gotta stand.
Ben got a standing desk
I
at
gotta
work.
stand.
and we're all jealous, and then... Everyone's like, oh my god, Ben, that's so great. And he's like, everyone get on your knees. And we're like,
I was full Tobias today.
Yeah.
Tobias from Arrested
and
Development.
then you said
where
something
everything
else.
I said was an unintentional sexual innuendo.
What else did you say that was super inappropriate?
I can't
Something
remember.
on your knees, something pounding, and it was something else.
Speaking really quickly of Tobias,
Mm-hmm.
David Cross was on Comedy Bang Bang. So I'm going real deep on this one.
Okay.
Oh.
Arrested Development, Comedy Bang Bang, keep going, keep
Apparently he
going.
had surgery, and the last thing that, like, the anesthesiologist or, like, someone said before he was, like, kind of completely under, he was basically like, oh, hey, I'm, like, a big fan. Any more Arresteds coming out? And David Cross was like, like, and then, like, was under, like, and then was, like, had surgery. But it's just, like, first of all, I really, like, don't enjoy the use of Arresteds.
No.
Like,
I abbreviate everything kind of as a joke, kind of not.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't do that.
The thing is, like, I almost allow it for Curb Your Enthusiasm when people say curb, because it's instantly recognizable,
Yeah.
and enthusiasm's a real long word.
Okay,
You don't need to say
yeah,
that
but
all the
you
time.
called Trader Joe's.
Yeah, of course.
no.
Of course.
Maybe
So-
TJ's if you're texting.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
remember Trader Joe's.
100%.
But
Joe's. It's Joe's.
I like Traders. It sounds more ominous.
Traders.
yeah, Trader's
Yeah.
is way better.
Yeah.
Maybe
One time
TJ's.
he's like, I'm going to Joe's after work. I'm like, Joe. Damn. Okay.
Peter now.
He's like, I just need to get some grapes. What? Plot twist. Anyway.
Joe's got the best grapes. Okay.
I feel like that's what they want. That's what they want you to call it Joe's. Like all their like
Or like
branding
Trader
is like
Jose's.
Joe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Wait, I haven't seen Arrested Development, but I saw a clip today actually for the first time.
all right,
and
we're
it
gonna
was
stop
like,
this podcast.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna watch.
Yeah.
I know I need to see it, but what
I
is
just
it
started.
on?
I just started rewatching. it.
Netflix. It's all on Netflix.
It's all on
Really?
Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, winter break. Also, there's one guy who like was an anal rapist. Was his like
An ouropist, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's what we were talking about today, and I saw a clip and it was funny.
I got.
That's all.
It's like, yeah, I got Peter like our first Christmas together, I like went crazy and we got a bunch of gifts and like we both watched Arrested Development. So I got him a shirt that just had like Tobias Funke and Alrapist. And I was like, I don't think he wore it one single time, but I was like, that is the
It
greatest.
reminds me
Can't wear that in
of your tax return, like collection anal.
Yeah.
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 I'm a collection analyst and there's very few spaces on the tax form. And so every year when I hand it in, it just says collection anal.
It's a hate crime. Just.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But it got retweeted by the Throwing Shade podcast.
Yeah, they
so
mentioned
that's,
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
worth it.
Yeah,
they
definitely.
even mentioned it on the podcast
Yeah.
too. Yeah, so that's my shining moment.
Well, there you go.
And I feel like they struggled over pronouncing your last name, which is so made you
I
even
still
more.
feel
That's
like
what
I don't
everybody
know
does.
how.
That's fine.
Say how you think it is.
Tahaya?
Don't say my
Okay.
last name on the podcast, first of all. You can give out your birthdays and social security numbers all you want. I don't need some crazy Murder, She Wrote stalkers on me.
She tricked me. She said,
Try
and pronounce it. I'm sorry, Ben. She set me up.
You can try and pronounce mine. No, seriously, I've already said my birthday. Don't say my last name.
Yeah, I don't care.
All of our listeners are like, we don't give enough of a fuck about any of you.
Yeah,
Don't want to
that's
steal
right.
your identities.
I would like to
You
blame it on the
shitheads.
alcohol, but no.
No. Oh, sorry, Ben.
Is
But
it?
No.
how do you spell it? And was it even the correct pronunciation that Marissa just did?
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not right, so I'll give you that much.
I was right.
Uh-huh. What
Yes, it
I
was.
feel like you said Taha.
No, I didn't. Oh, do you want me to say it again?
Yeah, go ahead. No one can spell it.
Tahaya?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you go.
Tahaya.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one
That's
can
how she
spell
said
it.
it.
Oh, I thought you trailed off. At the
I
end.
feel like
didn't
it'd be
hear
like Tahiyeh.
Don't.
Tahaya.
Okay, you say the first three numbers of your social. I'll say the next three numbers.
I'll do the last part. That's the most dangerous part.
Yeah.
Okay.
that gives you access to everything. That opens doors. Those last four.
Don't do it.
And mine's real easy to remember, guys.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
I always have to do the whole thing in my head.
Every time I tell my social security number to someone like IRS or whatever, they
shit.
always tell me how like, oh my god, that's so easy to remember.
My
You
identity's
got so
already
lucky.
stolen. So what you guys gonna do?
Steal it again.
Some bitch from Chowchilla. If you're listening, Maria, I'm
We're
gonna
coming
find you.
for ya.
I'm gonna find you, Maria.
It reminds me of the Friends episode where Monica's identity is stolen and she goes, have you seen it?
I don't know. Keep going. I saw when they like first came out, and I'm rewatching them now on Netflix. But I'm only like season 2.
I can't. I think it's a later season. You'll know. You would remember it.
Oh, okay.
Because the whole episode's about her identity getting stolen, and she makes friends with her identity stealer.
Yeah, I know that. I kind of have like a dream that I'm gonna call
Maria.
Dog the Bounty Hunter, and like he's gonna find this bitch.
I love Dog the Bounty Hunter.
I've never seen it.
I was
It's-
friends with these.
I mean, I know what it is, but
Yeah, I mean, turns out he's like a horrible person, but he's one of
Was
those people. No, he's one of those people that got caught saying the N word.
Okay,
Guys.
I know.
Like, I mean, if you
it's
look at
also-
him, not
yeah,
shocking.
Exactly.
Not
It's like
surprised.
kind of like that dude from.
It's like when Hulk Hogan got caught saying the same thing. It's like, okay.
And also having a sex tape with someone who looks remarkably like his daughter. Anyone recognize?
Oh
No?
boy.
Or
Like
the
gross.
guy from Duck. What's the
Dynasty?
Duck Dynasty? And he like was against gay people, but I'm like, you are like 100 and live in a swamp. Like, of course you're gonna be like anti-gay people. Like, of course.
Yeah.
But we were in a hotel like very recently, and the only thing on was Dog the Bounty Hunter. I watched. I took a couple
I
episodes.
was friends with people in high school who had a crush on like the older son with like a long braid down his back.
I mean, he was the best of a bad bunch. Like that family is not attractive, but he was because he was the only one who like went to the gym. Like he was like kind of
Honestly?
ripped. He had like a nice-ish face.
Dog the Bounty Hunter
a
was my
gym on
first
braid.
exposure to like that there are poor. Like it sounds stupid, but like poor people in Hawaii.
It was like super depressing. You hear Hawaii,
Yeah.
and it's like the ghettos in Hawaii are
Or, like,
oh
Yeah, and then you're like,
Oh, wow.
oh, like you live in Hawaii and you live in like
it's
like
so
a
sad.
cardboard. That was like real
Ugh.
life.
To bring it back around to not depressing things,
Okay.
I won't say his name on air, but do you remember our student worker that had the really long braid?
Yeah. One time, Julie's like, "Hey, can I take a picture of it?" And he's like, "Okay," and she sent it to Lance.
Guys,
Our listeners like He's like, you guys should drink more often when you podcast. We love hearing these work stories and your personal information.
No, but yeah, because I was just like, he was okay with someone taking a picture with it, and
he wrote me a calligraphy note when I left.
Oh.
It was really sweet.
I was going to say, like, why didn't you show that to people?
I have it somewhere, because he gave it to Sarah to give to me.
Oh.
He was a nice kid.
He would, like, email into our, like, email servers and, like, pretend like he didn't know us and be like, hey, cool cats, and, like, my Jav brothers. And we're like, what? Mm-hmm. I'll find them for you.
You didn't know this? This is news? Oh,
did this happen after I left? It must have, because wouldn't I have gotten the email?
No, it was before I got there. It was, like when he...
Oh, he would email Ask Housing. Whatever. Yeah.
I think we've even said multiple times. So it doesn't matter.
Well, he used to email me when he was at work, like sitting.
Yeah, all the time.
And then just email and be like, Melissa, I need to leave like 2 hours early today. And I'd be like, okay, hi.
We're a ball apart.
I can see you, like, yeah.
Oh, God.
Just come tell me.
We have some oddballs. I mean, what UCLA's going to bring you? Some oddballs, obviously.
Yeah.
But no two ways around it.
Phasing them out.
Yes.
You guys like the new one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, totally.
She's normal.
We got a normal student worker, everybody.
She's super eager to hear all of our names, though. Like, she always asks. It's a great sign.
Well, she's an RA, so I feel like...
Oh, that explains
yeah,
so
right.
much.
That's like all you need to say. She's an RA, so...
Did you know that, Ben?
No, I did not.
No?
That does explain things.
Okay.
I feel like J.B. Fletcher would have been an RA.
I feel like she's... Okay, if she was an RA, she'd be a really cool RA. Like,
she'd be
she's like too good to be an RA.
That's the thing. That's cool.
That's like,
guys. I mean, that's a cool RA. Totally. No, yeah, she would have been like the friend that's like, listen, sorry about it. You have to stay in and be on duty, but I'm gonna go out drinking with my friends and maybe solve a murder.
Yeah, exactly.
While I'm out.
God, she's a queen.
She's the coolest. Yeah, she's not like gonna be like ratting people out and stuff.
She's not like a regular RA. She's a cool RA.
That's not just RAs do, Ben.
God. We make posters and
we have
dye t-shirts.
We have programs to engage our students in community.
That was a good line. I like that.
Anyways, I just want to talk about the geese. The birds.
Okay, because Ireland, for real...
Did we see any geese, or did we just hear them all?
We heard so many birds and sheep.
We saw a lot of sheep.
And we heard them.
We heard the sheep.
Oh my god. The thing, they were out, like, on a cliff. Like, there's no sheep out on a fucking cliff.
Well, you guys have been to Ireland. I haven't, so tell me about it.
Well, there are a lot of sheep.
You hear fiddle music everywhere. Overly dramatic.
Like honestly,
literally?
No.
Okay.
I was driving, but in the bars, they have a lot of live
drove?
music. No, I was like in a car. We were in like a tour. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't risk that. But Matthew Broderick killed someone driving in Ireland, so I was like, take that as a warning sign. Anywho, there are farm animals everywhere. Cows, sheep, especially in the countryside. I almost considered being a vegetarian. Almost.
Why?
Because you see them up close and there's like baby sheep and like baby cows and they're looking at you and you're kind of like, like you get killed in like pretty brutal ways. But then I eat like meat, like
in Montana, do they have like where I grew up in the Midwest? Like you see all these.
Well, I grew up. Yeah,
exactly.
I grew up in LA though, so we don't see that. And we were like talking to the people in Ireland, and they're like, "You guys don't have this anywhere?" And I was like, no. Like I took a field trip to Tierra Haute, and they have like some animals, but even then.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Don't see them. So when you see them in flesh and like their fuzzy little bodies, you're like, I kind of feel bad.
Because we drive like go camping and stuff, and like cows on the road everywhere. And we were so thankful when we got past. I can't remember what they're called now, but they're like grates in the road. So if a cow steps on it,
crossing,
yeah. So basically they can't walk on it. If they do, they'll like break their legs or whatever.
Yeah. But
it stops them from going. So I was thankful to get past that because it meant where there's no more waiting for the cows to cross the road.
How does that happen? Like they just step on something and breaks their legs.
Like
so
it's just
holes.
It's like bars across, and they're far enough across that like your car can go across it, but a cow could never walk across it.
Like it would just be like stuck in it.
But cows in Ireland had longer fur than cows here, and I was like, they're trying to keep warm. The only cow exposure I have is on the 10 or the 5. when you're driving up north, and there's like that.
One time I lived on a ranch and I had to drag a dead calf. So
why?
Because it died and we had to drag it off the road.
Oh. I went to summer camp at a ranch and we just rode horses and like branded cattle.
Horses.
Cool.
Oh, you got to brand cattle?
Mm-hmm.
That's intense.
Yeah.
That is pretty intense for a summer camp.
I bailed on hay.
Hey kids, half you're gonna go play volleyball, the other half are gonna sear the flesh of cows. Which one do you want to do?
Yeah, I feel like that's more traumatic than dragging a dead cow.
We also did like riflery and like that stuff. So.
Did you shoot the cows too?
I wish. No.
I like how you started.
It was in Arizona though. Like
you
what
started
else
the story like I almost was a vegetarian. And you ended it with like I wish I killed some cows. A branded.
Well, then I realized like
we went on a journey with Marissa here today.
Yeah.
That was,
you guys saw my true side. Sorry.
Murder rooms. Guys, before the podcast, we just talked about how many rooms and places we all have in our apartments that someone could just murder us.
And now we're all terrified when our significant others leave.
Yeah, we're basically children.
Yeah. It's the worst.
Yeah, we get left alone and we're like
we
kids who can't
take a shower by ourselves.
Like lights on at night. I literally I was like, I guess I'll just turn the TV on, mute it.
Yeah.
And then because I can't go to sleep otherwise.
Yeah. I leave definitely the TV on or like a light on, so if in the middle of the night I can see if someone's watching me. What would I do? I don't know. Like a quicker death? I don't.
Yeah. I couldn't leave a light on though because if I woke up and like the hall light was on, I would be like, well, fuck.
But like, would a killer turn on a light? I don't know.
Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck. They're gonna kill me.
So they can see where they're putting the knife.
Or they just stumbled upon they were trying to burglarize you.
They just thought it was empty and that's...
Yeah, and they turn on and then you're a witness.
That's my fear too, is that they sneak in, think there's no one there, they turn the corner, and you wake up and you see them rifling through your shit, and you don't...
You pretend to be asleep, right? What do you do? Call 911?
That thing, I just
Why don't
I have
you
a Kill Bill replica
for
sword. And
oh, you do? That's...
So I'm just thinking, can I get to my Kill Bill replica sword?
That has gotten very violent. Like, you were like, pew, 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 like with all these guns, you're gonna like...
I was just saying, if I lived alone, I'd have to have a gun within arm's reach no matter where I was, because I'm so petrified to be home alone like a child.
Guys, stop. I have to go home alone tonight.
Yeah,
my husband's at sea.
Just haven't...
He's moored in between the two bays. Wait, that's... Also, that sounds so weirdly sexual.
Do you have a knife? Sleep with something.
Like a kitchen knife?
Yeah, a big one.
No, because that's just gonna freak me out more. Like I'm not really freaked out about burglars, but now if I sleep with a knife next to me, I will freak out. Also, knowing
you're
gonna
roll over to get your
down. I'm just like
I have a bat. Not much I could do with that, but I'm so weak in my arms. I'd be like, no, horrible hand-eye coordination, just miss.
Whatever, I'll just get blackout drunk by myself and then...
You'll just pass out and
then I won't know. Okay, that's good. That's a good plan. All right.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So everyone, Melissa's home alone.
You know her birthday. I'm sure she'll give up her address very soon.
Melissa's a very uncommon name.
But you know what's funny is that my address... Okay, this story...
Would you give us cross streets? What are the cross streets?
No, we might need to do some editing. There's a Trader Joe's.
No, listen, where I lived before, I lived on a college campus, and the Postal Service will not let you forward your address. They don't recognize the college campus that I was on before. They say, that's a place of business. We won't forward your mail from there. So we couldn't change our address with the Postal Service. So
that's annoying.
Fuck all of you trying to find me, because
my
address
do you get your mail?
So
and how do you forward it to a business but not away from a business? So many postal related questions.
I actually get a lot of calls about that because it recognizes UCLA as a business.
Yeah. So what the institution did for me, because I was staff, is we literally about once a month get a large envelope with basically
once a month.
Well, because at this point we're able, think about what you get in the mail.
That's true.
We changed our bank. You can go in and you do all that on your accounts. So basically what we're getting is junk mail. Yeah, and so they send us a manila, a mail envelope filled with junk mail that goes to our old address.
Yeah.
So stupid.
I've kept my permanent address at like my mom's house, and so it's always
That's
just
a good
staying
idea,
there. But I'm also like, because I'd been moving around from like college to like other apartments, so like once I have like a steady place, probably. I don't know. Makes
So
it
try to
easier.
find me, bitches.
Well, it's also my jury duty is like in a different. It's over 20 miles away, so like when I call, they tell me no, you don't have to serve if you're living somewhere that's over 20 miles from where you're registered.
Well, la-ti-da.
So, just scheming.
Well, I went and served jury because I'm a good American, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
It was not a bad day when I had to go. I just read a book.
Yeah.
That's
I read
well, because
Hunger
I
Games,
I
got,
didn't have to go to work.
I've only done it once.
I was there 3 days because I got
Special.
into a jury selection thing, and then once they actually, because like first day, like almost the whole day, it was like I was one of the last groups they called. So the first day we got nothing actually done in the courtroom. Went back, and the whole day was them going through everybody else that was in the room. Came back the next day, like one of the first ones called up, and then the prosecution dismissed me.
It's nice.
I wonder why.
Because I'm a gay liberal.
Wow.
Well, they assumed I was a liberal anyway.
They knew you were gay. Did they ask?
Yeah, because one of the things is
Really?
the judge
sounds weird.
first the judge went around, asked everybody. He had like 4 questions on the wall, and you had to answer those questions. One of them was like, "Are you married?" I was like, "I'm not married, but I live with my boyfriend." And then, like,
So you just
what part of town?
You just gave that up.
Because it was a criminal case, and my boyfriend, who was a lawyer, is like, yeah, they're gonna totally, like, if they think you're gay, it's a criminal case. The prosecution's not gonna know that you're like, a whiny liberal, and they're not gonna want you on. They're gonna get rid of you right away.
I feel like you should be able to be like, my boyfriend's a lawyer, and then you don't have to serve.
Yeah.
No, I told him that because it was like, "Are you married?" And then like a sub question was like, "What does your spouse do?" There's like 4 questions that everybody had to answer. What part of town do you live in? Spouse's job, and maybe your own job, something like that.
Interesting.
And then he let the prosecution, the defense, take over.
I remember Eric was on jury duty, and he was like super nervous, and they asked him like what his job was, and he gave like, and the person was in there like exact like position, where he worked, what he did, and he's like, fuck, I probably shouldn't have like said all of that, and like the guy was in there, but what you gonna do?
Yeah, I never made it into. They picked 12.
Me neither.
It's actually kind of fun because you listen to these other people, and then you kind of get an idea of what they're asking. Because the one I was in was stabbing. The guy like stabbed, and so the question they were asking everybody was like, "Have you ever like
been stabbed?
Have you ever like been in a fight? Have you ever like seen like something with knife?" And when I worked security at a hotel, there was a guy like running around with a knife.
I saw someone get kidnapped at Disneyland once during the light parade.
What?
Yeah, when I was like 6 or 7. Yeah, it was a light parade. My dad was like, "Marissa, don't look," and he like put me on his shoulders. And I saw someone run by me, and I was like, okay, so I just was looking, and you see this guy grab a girl by her hair and was dragging her through the crowd, and like the light parade's still going on, and everyone was like trying to chase her, and I guess they like tackled him in the parking lot and like was able to get her.
How do you get as far as the parking lot if he's dragging a girl by the hair?
Because it was like during the light parade, and there was like a huge crowd of people, and then I think he like kept running,
so it was tell.
Like, yeah, it was like a huge clusterfuck, and it was
boy.
like 90s. No one got
Yeah.
That was
got
like
kidnapped in the 90s.
Yeah, that was just like easy going.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Anyhow, okay.
I bet they would dismiss Jessica Fletcher from a jury because they'd be like,
oh my god, she'd be such a know-it-all. Like,
she
love
would,
JB Fletch, but like in a jury room, oh Jesus Christ!
Wouldn't you
like,
think
can
that
you
she would
imagine?
pursue a field in something criminal, like
Well, she ends up
prosecution,
teaching.
judge-
Remember, she ends up. Well, no, she
Oh,
doesn't even
that's true.
teach. She teaches a writing class. Does she
About
teach?
no.
No, she teaches like almost like. She taught a writing class, but she's also taught like.
Because she taught to the prisoners, remember?
Yeah, but when she was at UCLA with Hearn, wasn't she teaching something else?
Yeah, like criminology or something.
Like how to get away with murder?
Yeah, because remember.
Isn't that what she called her class?
Yeah, because the cop was taking her.
And then there was that really famous scene where she took off all her makeup in front of the camera. Was that her?
And then she became a lesbian. Bye. I don't know.
have you watched this week's?
No, have you?
No.
I'm still waiting for that show.
Ben hasn't even seen last week's. Have you seen last week's?
Yes.
I'll be watching it tomorrow.
Twist at the end.
Okay.
With the girl, the Asian girl. Yeah. Sorry about it.
Watch
Murder
it.
She Wrote.
Okay.
Murder She Wrote.
Murder She Wrote. Okay, speaking of easy going, everybody was super happy that guy was dead.
Like,
yeah.
Even, I guess, I was going to say even the wife, but
she ended up doing it, yeah.
So.
But no, everyone was like, meh.
His helper didn't really care. His business partner didn't really care.
The neighbors.
His best friend, like George Hearn, was like.
He was actually fine.
He was.
And then they watched the video after because the wife basically filmed it as an alibi, but it kind of ended up fucking her over.
Obviously, there was one part of that video because it shows she's like, oh, he loved his toys, and she kept saying his toys, his toys.
Like,
and
come on, you know what a VCR is called.
So stop calling
toys that he filmed us with.
Yeah. The helper's on some of those films. I can tell you right now. But so she like framed it perfectly to get a picture of like her when she came in, him sitting there, the lamp that ended up being
and it was like
pivotal.
Over an hour, so they had to like fast forward, made it seem like.
And Marissa called it out because he was smoking a cigar that he kept having to light.
And I was like, that's odd.
And I was like, no, that's right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Which made sense. I believed you after, but shouldn't have, clearly.
Mm-hmm. What you lack in, in knowledge, make up for in confidence, and everybody will believe you.
Yeah. Did I tell you one time? I can't trail off it. Well, anyway, I was telling a story about how Sally Ride, the first time she went into space, she was the first female astronaut, so they all asked her, she was going in for 5 days, if like 150 tampons would be okay, which is so comical because like clearly.
Wait, how much was she going up for?
Like 5 days.
Oh.
Like 150. And I was telling a group of people the story and I kept saying Sally Fields. And I was so confident that no one fucking said anything. They're like, okay. And I talked to all of them after. They're like, I kept thinking like, I didn't know Sally Fields went to space.
Forrest Gump's mom went into space?
And then after I was like watching TV, we were watching one of the fights and I was like, oh, I meant Sally Ride, and they're all like, oh, you sounded so confident in what you were saying. You thought Sally Fields went to space. Mm-hmm. I was like,
I like
there
it.
you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that's what Melissa did to convince us that, no, that's how
That's
cigars
how
work. That's how cigars work.
You just light it every 2 seconds.
And then...
So then, he, like, we basically slowly watch a man die.
Yeah.
Which was a little weird, but that's what we did. And so, and then the wife couldn't have been more guilty. Like, I don't know why after they watched that video, they didn't just like wrestle her to the ground and handcuff her.
Especially JB Fletch. Like, I feel like she should have been.
Because it was so obvious, though. I almost thought she wasn't the killer because she was another red herring. Because it was so, she was like, and
then she had told JB, she's like, I thought he had fallen asleep, which obviously wasn't the
his
case.
eyes were
like he looked like one of the girls.
His tongue was hanging out, his eyes were wide open, like.
But then I was like, okay,
like an angel.
Maybe she turned off the light because she thought he was asleep, and like, turned it off before she waked him up. But then like everything was like.
And she backs out of the room, gets to the doorway to scream. Like,
it was so obvious. That's the thing, and she did this super deliberate thing where she like. Literally seconds after he died, she comes in. Like, she had it timed perfectly. And then she, like, touches his cheek, like, oh, like,
or, like,
he's
cold.
That's the thing, like, she touches his cheek, like, oh, he's cold. It's like, he's been dead for 2 seconds. He's not cold. And then puts her hand under, very deliberate, like, playing to the back row actions. And then literally...
And then, like backs up to see if he wakes up or something.
Yeah, like a cartoon cat backs out of the room. And then, clears his throat... Time screams. It was like, okay.
Yeah.
She is
you are guilty.
So guilty.
Okay, so I'm going to quickly explain the chemist.
Oh, yeah, go.
A.k.a. the pharmacist.
Oh, I thought he was just going to be a nice little guy who was going to help us
Ben
solve
had like a...
Thought he was going to flirt. Thought he was going to flirt with JB.
Didn't. I was expecting that, too.
Yeah.
Because he's clearly got a thing for older ladies, as we learned, so...
Yeah.
Great mullet.
And he, wanted her to sign his books. And...
He had a very full mullet, too. It was very mullet.
It was like that.
It was like a mane. It wasn't a mullet. It was a mane of hair.
Yeah.
Very robust. So...
And, I feel like the only decent... I'm sorry, I'm
sorry. So about the hair.
So much to say about this guy. He's so great. But
Ben was so disappointed when he was involved.
I really was. I was heartbroken when he was part of this murder scheme. But the only decent Irish accent on this episode, would you say? Everybody else's was garbage.
It was pretty bad.
They clearly were in Pasadena, and they.
The helpers was the worst.
Oh, I didn't even know what hers was.
It was these actors were there no Irish actors in LA in 1992? Because Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But were they not in Ireland?
I think they shot the
Like the
B-roll and stuff in Ireland for sure.
Okay.
Like they did, like remember the Russian episode? They did the same thing where they shot all the establishing shots.
You never see them outside.
Yeah, they shot like they actually did filming in Russia, and I bet you they actually did filming here. But like Lansbury and the cast never actually went to Ireland.
Well, when we find her at the farmer's market, we'll ask her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's question number 1. Yeah, when we get her on this podcast.
Yeah. What locations did you actually shoot at?
When we fill the farmer's market with nitrogen and just slow.
So basically, the chemist. I just want to connect.
Okay.
JB buys perfume, and the old lady who's been in everything is like, "Oh, you're the first one I've sold this to."
Yes. No, it's good.
Even her Irish accent was okay.
I don't remember it.
It was not. She didn't try too hard. That's the problem. Like
I feel like Angela Lansbury, who's not even Irish, had a better Irish accent than that.
Yeah, right.
She's like,
because she lived there a little bit. She probably picked some up.
I think at that point, I'm pretty sure she was living in Ireland most of the time anyway.
So she found the perfume, though, this other bottle in the wife's bathroom. So...
Even though the woman at the counter made a big old deal about like you're the only one who's bought it. It's
and there's clearly two spots in this like 12 holder of perfume.
Yeah.
That, like, okay.
And they even like I like when they went back and Angela Lansbury was like, that's pretty curious because this holds 12 and there are 10 left, so that means 2 have been taken. It's like, just say 2 are gone.
Yeah.
Just say 2 are gone. Like math, we get it.
These holes here indicate that 2 have been taken of the 12.
Like
leading me to believe there's 10 left.
JB, you mansplained that whole thing to that poor woman.
She needed
it was a little.
Kind of like,
I know, but the lady was so insistent, but then she was like, meh.
That's when she's like, nope, you're the only one. I guarantee you, I'm the only one that's ever here. You're the only one.
chemist stole it?
No, but she said
his store.
Yeah, she was like, oh, he must have taken it. He's quite the ladies' man.
And he gave it to one of his lady friends. There's got to be some perk to owning a chemist shop.
Yeah.
Is that what they call it, a chemist shop? I don't know. Call it a pharmacy.
So basically that's how JB knew they were fucking.
Yeah.
The chemist and the wife.
Because the wife was like, there's never a tissue around when you need it when she was fake crying.
Yeah.
And then
in her own
all
bedroom.
her Botox like what in.
Oh yeah, that woman had some bad face work done. That was unfortunate. And JB had to go get her a tissue for her not tears.
Yeah.
For her husband. Yeah, no.
And then she saw the bottle of Emerald Sunset.
Like the day after your husband dies, you're not like looking like fleek, like in your in your room.
She's pristine.
Like you're just like Elle Woods after she got broken up with, like eating chocolate in bed, just crying.
Yeah. No. This lady was like
self-harm. I don't know.
It's a pearl day.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, pearls on.
And then Jessica knocks on the door. She's like, "I'm doing well." I'm like,
she's like, okay.
She was like, like oddly, upbeat.
But I mean, they were all okay.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
It didn't
She
seem
was
as weird.
Yeah.
But while we're in that room, do you want to talk about the fucking wallpaper and the bedspread?
The wallpaper and okay, that matched.
The wallpaper, I think the wallpaper in the bedroom was far and away the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The wallpaper, like in his study, while super busy, I thought it was like dark enough that it.
Well, because there was like wood paneling too, but then like any inch of available space was like wallpaper.
Super
and then
busy,
they had,
like
frames on every wall, which like clash with the wallpaper, which like.
I feel like that was actually very like authentically Irish. Like the like houses and like little museums and like little shops I went into, like they don't waste wall space in Ireland. Like I feel like that was. For me, that study was like super Irish. I felt like I liked it. I thought it was like homey and nice, and I liked it. The bedroom was atrocious, but I liked the study. I thought that was good.
I feel like the bathroom was very pink, also that she went into.
Oh my god,
even the tissue was
the
pink.
tissue box. Yeah, it was like all pink. So.
That was do like tissue box covers. Like, is that an '80s thing? Do you don't see that anymore, right?
You don't. I mean, I definitely feel like my mom had them. What?
I was saying, I don't know. I wasn't alive in the 80s.
But, like, did your mom not have... My mom definitely had tissue boxes.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Covers for, like, everything. Yeah. But now I'm like...
I feel like I haven't seen one forever, but they were omnipresent back in the 80s, early 90s.
Good use of omnipresent. Yeah. So, JB figures out that it's the wife and the chemist, and then they go in the basement and find...
Yeah, like, barely. Like, she barely figured it out, too. That was the weird thing.
They almost gave up.
What was the
and
thing?
Then
like,
she was on the bench.
Until he said... the flowers are blooming. And she's like, oh, that just might be my perfume.
No, he goes, or is it your perfume? And she's like, oh.
Oh, that's you. And she's like, follow me. I solved it, and I know why and who and
they almost
where.
got away with it.
Yeah.
And then she's like, let's go shopping. He's like, Jessica,
now?
is this the time?
Okay. Well, you don't seem that broken up about your friend dying. But then they go in the basement, and there's, like, just old cut-up pipes that are making the crying woman
That's making the sounds, yeah. Because the first like half of this episode is like several people's different take on the crying woman story.
I felt like that was like very authentic because when I was like going around Ireland, like they're like super big on like folklore. And,
I was into that.
Yeah, so I thought that was really cool.
I thought that was something because I was in Chicago recently and they had like there was a English pub that had like a ghost story attached to it and stuff. I'm like, that is very fun.
Yeah,
and then we went and had like a lunch there, or no, like a midnight snack actually is what it was.
Oh, fun, fancy.
Good. And then the ghost allegedly lived in the women's bathroom.
Of course,
like Moaning Myrtle.
Yes. Was she?
Yeah, she was like she was one of the better parts of the movie. She was so much fun.
She's good.
Yeah, she's fun. But besides just cut up pipes, is also just a shit ton of nitrous oxide getting pumped through the vents.
I don't know how much nitrogen you need, but like it's
it was
like
5.
Wait, is it nitrogen or nitrous oxide?
It was nitrogen.
Is nitrous oxide the stuff that makes your car go fast? No.
It just had a big N on
That's
it.
nitrous.
Nos.
Yeah, nos.
I don't. Oh.
Because I think
people do nos in like balloons and then get high off it. Like they pump it into a balloon and then throughout a party they'll like suck a little bit.
What's the thing called? Whippets?
Yeah, that's with the whipped cream top.
Yeah.
No, but like nos is like really fucked up. Like people will take a hit and then just like fall on their face and wake up like,
oh man,
time for more. Yeah, no, it's not good.
Nice.
Well, nitrogen was getting pumped through the vent
because, like, scary. Like nitrogen, your body mistakes oxygen or nitrogen for oxygen, so you think you're just breathing fine until you die.
That's like carbon
and your lungs fill with water,
right?
And your
lungs, that was a weird part. Your lungs fill with water.
Because that's why they thought it was pneumonia originally, because of the reaction his lungs were having.
Also, I liked just like the like very shoddy, like, it came through the vent and you attached it to the light switch and you just are like not really explaining how the light turned on,
or how she would,
yeah, so is the wife or the chemist a fucking engineer? Because
that's
a little...
I think they're just banking on the chemist must be intelligent enough to like do this.
Because he had to set it up like it was coming through the vent on the opposite side of the room, but they somehow set up a switch.
Mm-hmm. And it was like through a fucking tunnel that just used like a towel to like shut the like that.
That's it. Like it was like super complicated to get the light switch and blah blah blah. How do you actually get it to flow into the room? You just stuck a bunch of towels in this one.
Rags in this old
that seemed to do the trick.
Also, it took her husband like they said like over an hour to die, right?
Yeah.
But then when JB like. Favorite part of the episode was when JB like
oh my God.
like tricked that bitch into like confessing to murder, but she locked the door and the woman was like after 2 seconds like let me out, like
I need to get out of this room.
like girl, you have like 45 minutes, chill.
Yeah. And she even said she was like when she opened the door, by the time JB and them came down, like the gas had dispersed out of the room anyway. So like it
because
like,
after the husband had died, and then she walked right into that room. So
and then turned off the thing, but it would still be filled with it like after an hour's worth.
That's the thing. So
maybe you had to breathe it for like Anyway, she was
for a long
clearly
time
overreacting.
That's the thing, and it's like how much oxygen/nitrogen in the air does there need to be before you finally die? Because obviously there's circulation in this room. Like it's not an airtight room. It's an old rickety Irish house.
Yeah, but then why was the flame kept being put out? Because of the nitrogen?
Yeah, flames burn on oxygen.
There wasn't enough oxygen in the room. It's rough.
So sad.
Stuff.
I feel like we should all start smoking so that way we know if there's too much.
Yeah. Is that nitrogen. The same as carbon monoxide? Where you just like kind of like your body doesn't recognize it and you just
gonna go to sleep.
Yeah. But I guess with nitrogen you just like all of a sudden.
Like just like you just went from like
honestly, like even though we had to watch his death, it seemed very peaceful. Like he was smoking a cigar, but the poor guy thought that he was going to get killed because someone was laundering money, when in fact it was like his wife was a hooch. That's surprising, right? Sad. He like knew he was going to get murdered, but for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, that was that was ominous.
But I mean, he brought in like his best friend, the cop George Hearn, who didn't do anything. So,
well, what was he supposed to do? He gave him like no info. He's like, I think I'm going to be murdered. Don't tell Jessica. Okay, the one person who would solve it.
That's what I'm saying. You should have told Jessica from the get-go.
Yeah, exactly.
Have avoided this.
And then he's just like, someone's been taking money. He like didn't really even talk about who.
Yeah, I'd be like, if he went to Jessica and was like, he brought us here because he thinks someone's going to kill him. JB would have been like, it's that shifty-eyed wife. Let's go get her.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like from the second she met her, she was like, no.
But it kind of seems like they always make women the killers. Am I wrong? That should have been on the bingo.
Or like young mullet men.
Yeah, but like
Young
it almost
mullet
seemed
men.
like he was an accomplice. Like it was really the wife.
That's true too.
That's the thing, like, because he was the best red herring. Because again, maybe I'm a little
Besides
biased, but every
Vladimir.
time he came in, because he was just like, "Oh, I help sick people, and it'd do them a world of good to get your books." And
It perked right up.
Yeah. Oh, it's the best medicine
but
I
they
ever
also
delivered.
said that
nice.
like no one knew JB was coming except for the
him
the
and the wife.
chemist, and like the husband used that as a little like test
Mm-hmm.
to see who would know, which was clever if we had known. But
Yeah.
Oh.
The end.
But yeah, so JB caught the woman, and so JB explains to her like, okay, here's how you did it and what and everything, and the woman's like, that doesn't really prove that I did. Like she was
like there's no like real proof, and she's like, besides the fact that you freaked the fuck out when I locked you in this room.
even so, like I guess the cop was there by that point, but even then it's like
It's hearsay. She's not like under.
That's the thing. Like you didn't record the part where she was freaking out. Is her word against JB's, so it is absolutely hearsay.
No, the cop was on the other side. Plus, they'd already arrested the chemist.
Do you think he's saying like a canary?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, like, they didn't take pictures. They like unplugged all the night, like, and then set her up. So like, if they went back, they're like, this wasn't even a like. You need a.
And why was there like a fucking? There was a groundskeeper for that tower, but you don't notice them like unloading giant canisters of nitrogen. And if you're keeping such good care of it, how come you're not like, why are there 6 giant canisters of nitrogen on the bottom floor of this tower when it's like, it's the bottom floor and the top. Those are the 2 parts of a tower, as far as I know.
But I like how JB found out was that this old folklore was like a husband and wife who loved his wife so much. And she's like, he wouldn't have let her walk from like the house to the tower in the rain. There must be a
that's
tunnel.
right.
And then they found the fucking tunnel. Or
It's
the trap door. Yeah, tunnel.
Yeah, the trapdoor that led to a tunnel. Yeah, it was.
But JB just knows it.
She knows what's up.
She does. She gets it. I love that story though, because it was such like a great like little Irish story where it's like she watched her husband's ship and then she just threw herself out on under the rocks because she couldn't bear to be without him. It's like, oh boy.
Yeah.
If Sean falls off his boat, then I guess I'll just throw myself into Marina Del Rey.
You'll just get washed up with like the sushi.
I'll be like, I'll jump in and it's like knee deep. And
Yeah. Try and hold your breath.
It's
Like
slightly
Grey's
cold.
Anatomy.
Oh, so
Meredith.
torturous.
Try and drown yourself.
Yeah, so they get it. What was the joke at the end? Because this was another classic JB closing on a laugh.
She like had so many like close her eyes, tilt her head back laughs.
Because what was the thing where George Hearn, he's like, we'll show you around Ireland for a true adventure. He's like, a true adventure? What would you call this? And he's like, a good start. And it's like,
Yeah, that's
One
great.
to
That's
come.
great.
every time we hang out, people die. This is
Seriously,
good fun.
season 9, dude. She would have been on the FBI watch
That's
list.
the thing, like
100%.
people bring it up like all the time on Twitter and stuff, but I feel like we've watched so few episodes. This is the first episode that really sank in for me, where it's like, yeah, people die like everywhere she goes.
Everywhere she goes.
Everywhere. People are dropping dead.
And she just like isn't fazed by it.
She's not, and it's like super like.
Even
I
the
wonder
first
if the
one,
show ever addresses it, because it does. At this point, to me, was like, okay. At this point, it's like it's a
find out,
little
yeah.
weird,
Yeah.
and someone needs to address it because it's kind of freaky.
Yeah.
She just happens to be there every time, and she happens to solve it every time.
Because there's no show that exists now that doesn't revolve around like cops or someone who should be solving murders, not just like a rando lady.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Different time and place. Post 9/11, we're all changed. Yeah.
All right, guys. So I think that's it for the episode. Do you want to play a couple games or one game?
One game.
Let's do the movie game.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna
Because
do.
the other one would be embarrassing.
Okay, so we're gonna do.
Babysitting.
The year is 1992, and we're gonna do the top 10 movies of the year.
It's just Baby Steven.
Well,
Oh.
I was like, yeah.
Enter passcode. That's weird. Anyway,
You want to tell the people your passcode? No?
it's meow.
Okay.
Find my phone, bitches.
Okay, so these are the top 10 movies of 1992. We'll start at number 10 and see.
1992.
You have to give a little hinty hint.
Pretty Woman.
Jurassic Park.
That's 93.
No, Jurassic Park is 1993. I
Pretty
remember
Woman's
that for
not
some
on
reason.
there?
Pretty
Aladdin.
Woman, Pretty Woman, no. Aladdin is number 1.
Oh, yeah, bitch.
Game changer.
Silence of the Lambs came out in like 91, didn't it?
90 or 91, yeah, early 90s. Someone in this episode was actually in one of these movies, and we've mentioned it.
Sweeney Todd?
No.
We mentioned. Oh, you talked about... I was going to say Fantastic Four. That's definitely not on there.
No.
Another hint.
We were talking about Fantastic Four because I hate Jessica Alba. That's why we're talking
about it.
Yeah. Dislike.
Yeah. Strongly dislike. I don't hate her.
Yeah, no.
She's just a terrible actress, and her career shouldn't have been nearly as long as it was. This was our good friend Pat Crawford Brown was in this movie.
Sister Act?
Yep.
What? Top 10?
Number 6. Yeah,
Wow.
I was surprised. But that's a great fucking movie, though.
Yeah,
so
it's a good movie. Whoopee.
Okay. So back down to number 10.
Okay.
This is a movie took place during World War II.
Schindler's List.
No.
When did that come out?
And I hope it's not number 10.
Yeah,
it won the Oscar that year, but do you think it broke the top 10 box office?
That's fair. Aladdin's number 1. Schindler's List is
Wasn't there an episode of Seinfeld about them going to Schindler's List?
And making out.
Yeah. Okay.
and Newman saw them. It was great.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Melissa.
Let's see. It takes place during World War II. It's a giant cast.
Is it like? I'm assuming it's sad because it took place during World War II.
It's actually not that sad.
Okay.
It had a turn.
It's a comedy.
I'm trying to think. I guess I'll kind of give it away, but
give a little synopsis. Your
own. The men are all at war, so the ladies need something to do.
Oh, A League of Their Own.
Yeah.
I was about to guess that. I was like the one with baseball. Okay, whatever.
That is such a good movie.
I love that.
Such a fucking good movie. Let's see. The next one. This one I've never actually seen, so I'm going to have to give you very broad clues that should give it away really quickly. But this is the movie, if I'm not mistaken, that made Sharon Stone a star.
Fatal.
Where she spreads her legs.
Yeah.
Fatal
Basic
Attraction.
Instinct.
Basic
Basic
Instinct.
Instinct.
Basic Instinct,
Fuck.
yeah.
I haven't seen it, actually.
I haven't either.
I have never seen it either. They made a sequel, too, which totally bombed.
Is she in it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Number 8. This one wasn't a TV show, but was part of a TV show.
Interesting.
It was a Saturday Night Live skit turned into a movie.
Oh,
There's been so many of them.
Wayne's World.
Party time. Excellent. All right. All right, Marissa, you need to get in this game.
Okay, I'm
I already
sorry.
guessed number 1.
Yeah, I was 1 year old. I need to get into the 2000s, which obviously the show will never cover. But that's when I started watching. Okay.
Let's see. This one is another movie I've never seen.
So you should have done Scream 4 because we did movies from that year. It was like 2011.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. Okay, whatever.
And they were all sequels except one. Except number 10. Every other single one was a sequel. It's so
crazy.
weird.
The worst. Okay.
This one, the song from this is probably far more popular than the movie itself. The song was a remake of an old Dolly Parton song from the 70s, I think.
Boots Are Made.
No. It's the Whitney Houston song.
Yep.
It's Bodyguard.
It is The Bodyguard.
Yeah.
What is that movie?
It's Kevin Costner.
You never seen The Bodyguard?
I've never seen it either.
I think Steven's talked about it before. Now
I just, you need to watch it.
I think I'm thinking of Safe House with Denzel Washington.
Okay.
Kind of weird.
No.
But this was
I Will Always
Kevin
Love
Costner
You.
at the height of his powers, and yeah.
I've heard people talk
carrying
about
her,
no, I haven't
that
seen
poster
it.
is just like
Do it.
R.I.P. Whitney.
okay, this one this is a good movie. Let's see. This one of the lead actors gives a great speech of being the men on the wall, watching the wall, so to keep the people safe, and you don't know what happens on the wall. No,
Okay.
no, it is very Game of Thronesy. Let's see. Kevin Pollak was in this movie, and he tells a great
The
story.
Usual Suspects?
No, he tells a story about how Tom Cruise gave him a pen.
Top Gun? Tom Cruise?
No.
No.
Girl, I don't know.
Good men.
A Few Good Men.
A few bad guesses for me.
Okay, the remaining 3 are all sequels.
Okay.
The first one is let's see. I'll tell you, it's the 3rd of the series. And
Godfather?
Renee Russo makes her first appearance in this series in this one.
I don't even know who Renee Russo is. Who is she?
Well, she plays Thor's mom most recently.
The Thomas Crown Affair?
No.
No, but I'm saying a movie she's in.
Oh, that is also another movie. It's like, this
You're
is
like,
not Thomas Crown Affair.
No,
They did
not
not make
92.
3 Thomas Crown Affairs. Okay, by 1992. Stupid. Joe Pesci also had a recurring role in this series.
Daredevil.
Yeah.
I suck.
I have no idea.
They made 4 of them. There's since been 4.
Indiana Jones.
No, it's a buddy cop movie.
Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon.
So I haven't seen it.
This is my favorite. It's my favorite of the Lethal Weapons. Lethal Weapon 3.
Oh, interesting.
I've seen them, but I don't know.
What else?
Okay, this one, an early superhero sequel. Not a lot of superhero movies by 1992.
Superman.
I was about to get
No.
Superman.
Christopher Reeves.
Superman.
No.
Superhero movie?
Howard the
92?
The bad guys were played by Danny
Batman.
DeVito.
Batman.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh, no,
Batman.
I would have gone
Which
with that.
Batman was it,
Full
though?
title?
George
Yeah.
Clooney?
I need a full title.
No, girl.
What's
This
that
is
one?
Michael Keaton Batman.
Oh, Michael Keaton, yeah.
Batman.
Oh, but Danny DeVito's Penguin person?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Penguin
don't know.
person.
I have seen that one. I'm just getting confused.
Batman.
And Penguin.
Dark Times.
Super
Batman Dark
depressing.
Times. Batman's super depressing Dark Times. That's the
Yeah.
Batman
What is it
Returns.
There's so many Batman Returns. They
No,
keep
it's just-
returning.
There's
That was
just
the
the
Val
one.
Kilmer one.
That's Batman Forever.
Oh, Forever.
Obviously. Jesus.
And what's the Clooney one?
Batman and Robin.
And Robin.
Oh, I forgot Robin was in that. When George Clooney had the nips in the suit.
Oh,
Hard as
boy.
rock.
Yeah, girl.
That one was so terrible.
And now Ben Affleck's gonna be Batman.
I'm into it.
That I'm fine
Right.
with. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, me too.
It's probably going to be terrible, but I can't wait for it. All right, the last one is a children's movie, a sequel.
I see.
This is number 2.
Is it
Five O Goes
animated?
West.
Land Before Time. No,
It is not an animated movie. It is a live action movie.
Okay.
Children's comedy. I think the first one was directed by Christopher Columbus. I don't know if this one was too. Who directed the first?
Alone!
Yeah.
Christopher Columbus is his name?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
directed the first
he
2
did Harry
Harry
Potters,
Potter
too.
movies.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't realize. Ben's like a Harry Potter, like...
He also directed Rent.
Oh,
the movie.
Yeah.
I've definitely seen that.
Let's see.
Christopher
The
Columbus
score.
had a great name.
Do you want to know the score? 9-1.
Yeah. Which one did I get again?
Score of what?
You got Sister Act. I
Okay.
was keeping score of who got what.
Oh.
The only reason I
the
got
score of the game
Sister
we just
Act.
finished 3 seconds ago.
I
That
didn't
one?
know we were... Have we ever kept score? I
I've
guess
never-
this is
No,
when you
I've
played
never-
before.
Ben just wanted to rub it in my face because he's an asshole. So, okay. Thanks, Ben.
That was rough.
And technically, you got 0, so ain't on your face.
Oh, well, next time.
Yeah,
I've already
next time
seen
we
all the
play,
next
yeah.
ones. I've already
Will you
seen
send
them
me a
all.
picture of it? Because I always play with Steven on the way home.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Okay, that's it, guys. Before we go, be sure to
It's fun.
Yeah,
be
send
sure
me
to
it
leave
too.
us. Okay.
Even though my husband's at sea.
Who knows if
When
we'll
will
ever
they
come
come
back?
back?
Oh,
when
back.
All right, guys. Be sure to leave us a pleasant review on iTunes. We do this show, except for episodes like this, based on purely on your recommendations. Someone might recommend this. Let's say
This
someone
one was
did.
based on alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah, and wanting to watch Sweeney Todd. So.
Yeah.
But send us your
Todd.
recommendations at Murder We Spoke on Twitter. You can email us at murderwespoke@gmail.com. The next episode we're covering will be Season 12, Episode 15, entitled The Dark Side of the Door, with special guests Sue Funk from Cabernet N.A. and Ashton from the Skeet Skeet podcast. And after that, like I said, we're going to be watching Sweeney Todd. And the episode after that we're watching is going to be called Snow White, Blood Red.
Cannot wait for that.
From Season 5, Episode 4.
And maybe we'll finish our drunk bingo.
And that's when we'll be finishing our drunk bingos on Snow White, Blood Red.
Oh.
Can't wait.
So,
Have you guys seen the trailer for The Huntsman? We'll talk about it later.
okay.
No.
Okay,
We're going to talk about the trailer for Huntsman, and we'll see you guys next time.
Okay, bye!
Bye.